BET and VH1. So even in college, people were like, you are already on set with these major companies. Why are you still here? Type stuff. Right. They were like, you shouldn't even be here. You're already on set. That, to be honest, that's what made me drop out. Because I was like, I'm wasting time being in college. For me, that's not for everybody, but for me, it was a waste. It wasn't totally a waste of time because I got to learn some more skills. But to be honest, I knew like almost everything I was taught or was getting taught. Like even the students were even asking me questions about how to do this, how to do that. And I was like, well, I'm not the teacher, but they're like, yeah, but you're on set with all these major people. I was like, you're right.
All right. So let's catch everybody up. So in high school, you started doing it, but how do you? Okay, so when you started doing the directing in high school, right? Mm-hmm. How do you do it where you can actually make a living? You know what I mean? Because I think that's a lot of people. A lot of people are like, well, they have main jobs and they have, you have to pay rent. So how do you do it where you get enough? I guess I call it deal flow. You know what I mean? Or people to come into you and be like, okay, my deal flow can now transition me from me to work the 9 to 5 at McDonald's or whatever I'm doing, and now I can do this full time. You know what I mean? How does that work? In the entertainment business, because it's really a who you know type of business.
It's definitely about who you know. The relationships is everything. I always tell everybody, your net worth is your network, or your network is your net worth. Mm. So really, I didn't start making like income like that probably until I was making income at like 17, 18 for doing videos, but I probably wasn't getting like consistent money until 19.
This is like what, unknown artists or whatever, or these
are people that are unknown, but then also known. Like, I mean, Atlanta is like a little different because we have like known artists that aren't known. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but I was working with like the Migos when I was like 18 years old, 19 years old, but I was only a production assistant on set. I wasn't like the main director or anything, you know? Okay. So I was still making money, but I wasn't making like a living,
right, right. Like but how do you even get that type of production assistant of Migos? Like who says, okay, I want you to be my production assistant, even starting out like that, you know what I mean? Because people jump on.
It's like, okay, I don't know how it is in other states, but I definitely know in Atlanta, we have a lot of networking events. We have a lot of like just events, period, that, to be honest, even wherever you go in Atlanta, even if I was to go get my nails done, I could network with somebody. Like, we're very friendly here. So, like, and that's why I feel like I'm like the network queen, because literally anywhere I go, I'm going to network with somebody. I'm always scouting for your talent. I'm always looking to, shake hands with somebody. So I really built my whole brand up fast just because of the people I was working with, but then also because me, myself, my personality, my energy, me just reaching out to people, talking to people. Like, I'm never afraid to say hi to somebody, So that's what I feel like makes me stand out a little bit more than anybody else. But I feel like if you're not afraid to say hi to somebody, you can also get paid quicker because you're not gonna wait on somebody giving you something. You're gonna go for it,
Right. So I think that's interesting. Go ahead, Louise. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So, like, I know you mentioned like getting paid for something, right? So a lot of the time, especially when you are your own entrepreneur, you are an entrepreneur. You're like, even as a model, because like I'm in New York City here and I'm a model, and so I've been thinking to myself as well, like, okay, so instead of waiting for like multiple agencies to see my worth, right? Like, I know who I am. I'm going to go out there and get it. So how do you have that discussion when it comes to getting paid? Like from your personal experience, like, okay, how do you just approach that topic? You know what I mean? Like how do you navigate that?
So, well, to specifically talk about modeling, for example, I always tell people you have to have professional pictures. So you definitely need to invest in yourself first, because how do you expect to get paid if you haven't even put in the work to get paid, So
right, of course, yeah.
With modeling, at least for like new models, you're not a new model, but for new models, at least you need to, like, I get new faces all the time in my DMs and they're like, well, I want to get paid. I'm like, but you literally have nothing that, like, yeah, you're cute. You're the you're probably one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen, but I still need to show the client that you deserve to get paid, you know? So I always tell everybody you have to get professional pictures first. That's number one. Then keep getting professional pictures, and then just keep showing that even the internet, because now the internet's a client too, you know, that you should get paid. Because like even with like let's say ORS hair care, right? They actually don't care about professional pictures. So this is gonna kind of contradict what I just said, but they do want to see. They want to see professional pictures, but they also want to see what you look like. So they want to look at your Instagram.
Sorry.
Nah,
Somebody
we
just
don't
literally
worry about that. Don't worry.
not
This
so much.
edited. Don't worry about it. Trust me. When you hear, you're gonna be like, damn, this just sound like I was right there in the studio with them. You know what I mean? Word. No, I'm telling you, my engineer is bomb. I'm telling you.
No,
I think that was an Amazon package. I was like, oh shit. Sorry.
But anyways, so off your Instagram period, you need to look like you're a model, but you also need to show that you are a real person at the same time. So like ORS hair care, they want everybody's Instagram. They don't care for me to send them professional pictures, but they still do want to see one or two professional pictures, so they know that you know how to take pictures, you know? Time is money in this industry. So if you're on set, let's say for an hour and you have 3 looks, they want to knock out those 3 looks in that hour instead of taking 3 hours to do those 3 looks, you know? So it really helps to take classes, invest in yourself, so then you look like you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like the client's not gonna want to pay you if you don't look like you're worth getting paid. If that makes sense.
I'm just to piggyback back off of what Elle said. Elle's talking about like just, you know, obviously she's in a higher status. She's been modeling for a long time.
Right.
I know people who just like, yo, I just want to know where the gigs are at. You know what I mean? Right. Again, because if you can show me where to go and it's consistent, I will work the room so I can make it like a living for me. You know what I mean? And you know, you have people like myself, like I do comedy and I do like, you know, the acting and being extras. But I'm like, okay, where's the spots do I need to go so I can, you know what I mean? Because you know,
I think the networking aspect.
Say it again.
I think the networking aspect in New York is not as prevalent as it is in Atlanta.
Like Atlanta, like, you know, she's talking about Atlanta, Houston, Miami, or something like that. I feel like it's like more engagement. Like what a person will be like, yo, go here Tuesday, then go here on Friday, then go here next week on Monday. You know what I mean?
Like
but
if you're in Atlanta, I can tell you a whole schedule of where to go.
What you said?
So if you're in Atlanta, I can tell you where to go, when the networking events are. Like, I'm the expert with that. But New York, I know it's different. I've been to New York 2 times for business. Yeah, twice for business. I went for Brooklyn. I hosted a showcase out there, but I know it's a little harder to get in the door in New York and also to know where things are, because I do know also just the energy in New York is different than Atlanta.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what I'm saying? Like can you go up to somebody in New York and be like, "Hey, let's work"? I don't know if you can do that. I know Atlanta you can.
They're gonna look you up and down and be like, "What credentials?" You know.
I wish you were the female who said, hey, let's work. Because I'd be like, yo, let's do it. You know what I mean? I wish someone would say that. Because when you're hungry and you just trying to work, it's like you trying to find, and I think I get more people who are trying to that aspect, not necessarily, because I can make quantity into quality, but we need to find the quantity. We have to find where we have to go. So if you pay me $100 each time, that's gonna add up to save money. You know, you rent your little room, whatever, and over time it's gonna build. But we're just trying to find, okay, how do you make it? I think the consistency, that's the aspect. You know what I mean?
And you know what?
Go ahead.
Sorry, you could go.
No, I was just gonna say to your point, like when you're saying, can you go up to anybody? So personally, like I reach out. So Instagram really is the tool, you know?
Yes, it is. For models. Definitely.
It really is. So I reach out
for y'all females, not for you. I have
no, that's not true.
And it's hard. I think it's female. See, when you say that, I look at that being okay. Well, Louisa, for you it is, but it's people like myself and a lot of people who just
that's not true, because it's like Molly said. No, but that's not true, because if you're a man, say, right, because that's what you're saying, men versus women. If you're a man, and no matter what profession, you're a comedian, you're a model, you're an actor, whatever, your Instagram is basically like your profile, like your portfolio. So when like on a casting, wherever, like if you're a comedian, you know, all these like major comedians, how they have all of their little clips and they do all the reels and they do whatever.
Right.
That's their portfolio. So like,
Yeah, but I think
let's
it's
say
also,
you have your
I think they also
portfolio.
have their understudy that they go with. Like if I know
No,
TK
No,
I'm
but
not
no,
talking
wait,
about on the
Sammy,
road.
if I know Little Duval and you know I'm related to him or he knows me as a good friend, I'm going
No, but I'm
everywhere
not
under him
talking about
every
on the
going.
road. That's different. But you can use social media. Like there's so many comedy clubs in New York, right? Like New York is kind of known for their comedy clubs and whatever.
Yeah.
So if you have a portfolio already on your Instagram, and then let's say you go like on any of the Instagrams for the comedy clubs, and you hit them up in their DMs and say, hey, you know, send them an actual website, or just like
Right.
just
your
say, hey,
reel
like,
on
or
there.
your reel or anything. Like it's just as easy for men as it is for women, depending on what it is that
you
you're
guys will
doing.
say that to your grave. And everybody
Nah,
will say
I'm saying-
No, but Sammy, this is the thing, right? Okay, so are you saying it's not working for you? Then I feel like you need to market your Instagram better.
No, it's not. It's like I'm in those circles, but you know how I'm in those circles? Because I fucking may be in the car for 12 hours waiting for them before they even come. It's really not.
But
What
that's
you guys
the
are
old
saying
school
is
way
more,
of
I think
thinking,
it's
honestly.
better for women because, again, a lot of these guys, you know, they're not who they say they are. If that makes sense, right? Everybody's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
definitely.
You understand what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Everybody's a facade. They're not who they say they are. And the thing is, when you pull a card or you feel if you make them a threat or whoever their understudy is as a comedian or actor or whoever that they, you know, within their team, and you're a threat to them, they're not gonna put you on because they like, yo, they got their little cousin that
But
they
nobody,
put on.
but
If
nobody
they
said
feel like
putting
you a
nobody
threat, they're
on.
not gonna put you on. Why are they gonna do that?
But wait. Sammy, we never said anything about putting nobody on because I'm not even putting somebody on. We're just saying that if you have your portfolio online, it's like your new portfolio. You know what we're trying to say?
Yeah.
We're not saying nothing about putting nobody on because first up, I'm not putting nobody on because I had to work for my shit. So secondly, though,
but Molly, you have consistent work, right? Like you know when you post
I
on your,
but you know how people in my
Right, but
DMs
she
every
worked
day
for
saying,
that.
"Put me
but
on."
when you go on your Instagram and you post this stuff, that's why I was telling Elle, and Louisa was saying the same thing. She said, yo, she posts a lot of stuff. If I'm someone who's trying to figure out how to go, I look at your page as the new Craigslist. To be honest with you, because I'm like, yo, oh, word, this is the location. Yo, that's good. Now imagine if they had that in New York. You know, New York will be flooded with people coming. You know what I mean? But you know, there is no Molly World, New York. You know what I mean? There's no, you know what I mean? Because I would go to you first, and then maybe use Craigslist or whatever to streamline those indie type of, type of acts or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm
coming to New York. I'm gonna come to New York and do an event in New York. I'm gonna do an event in New York. I'm about to come and do a
thing. Even if you go, I was gonna say, even if you go to these events, though, that doesn't make you a shoo-in for anything. Still, at the end of the day, you still need to show up with like your portfolio. You still need to have your body of work.
How do you show up when you don't know the location? How do you show up if you don't?
No, I'm saying you have to show up your person. Like your person has to you still need to have a portfolio of work. You need to have a body of work. And an online presence these days is the new way of thinking. It's not, there's no more like, oh, let me just go to the comedy club and wait to see if I can get a spot. It's like, yes, you can, but these days, marketing yourself over Instagram is literally the easiest thing as a comedian. It's like it's literally, you can showcase yourself anywhere.
Okay, so like forget comedians, actors. Okay, how do people know where to go to a video shoot? Besides, how do people because I feel
you have to get casted.
It's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Follow casting directors,
and then other people don't know where to go. Because if Tory Lanez is in New York, or let's say Amigos or something in New York, and they're doing a video shoot. If I'm someone who's not in the know or whatever, how do I know how to go to?
You're not going to then. You got to contact casting directors. Like this is why it's so important to follow somebody like me, or an agency. I'm not an agency. I'm a casting director. Okay, so I don't sign anybody.
Right.
So literally anybody can work with me, and I could also hire an agency below me. You know what I'm saying? Not below me, but under me for that project. You know what I'm saying? If I don't want to do everything myself, I might hire another agency to also send in their talent, and then me sending the talent that I already know they're on my roster.
Right. So you co-broker, right? Makes sense.
But normally I don't do that. Normally I just do, as me as casting director, just have everybody send in their talent, and also you yourself can be a freelance model or actor and send your own talent. But I'm trying to say is 9 times out of 10, you can't just go to a set. You gotta know somebody to go to set. So it's really important to submit and keep submitting, and don't be afraid to get turned down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had girls or guys submit to me for a whole year and never get selected for anything. But then after a year, they finally got that one good picture of them, and that's what got them started to get casted. And once they started getting casted, they started getting casted a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about, you know, consistency and keep submitting. Right. Sometimes it's not gonna happen in the first 6 months. It's gonna take time. And to be honest, if you want to be a model or actor, you cannot expect to get paid that good for your first 3 years, maybe 5 years of working. I'm sorry. You're like, sometimes you get lucky, but I'm sorry. This is not an industry that you are gonna get $1 million in right away. And maybe not ever.
But can the consistency at least allow you to get 50,000? The project consistency being extras or being added on or something like that, can that at least make you 50,000 or 40,000 in there where you can survive?
If you know how to hustle, yeah. I mean, if you know how to hustle, there's some girls that get booked. I call them our top video girls or top models, right? Okay. They might get paid $250 per gig, and they have 3 gigs a day. That adds up, you know? Or they might get booked every day, but that's like not
very rare.
Elite. That's elite. Yeah.
You know, that's not every girl.
But speaking of the negotiating prices, so that I think what I was trying to get at originally, like when you're in talks about like a contract, you know, how do you just say, okay, well, this is my rate to do what I do for you, you know? So like, do you find that they often like try to like undercut you, so, you know, pay you less? So how do you fight that battle?
So I feel like also it depends on how long you've been doing it for. Cause I do know when I first started, it was totally different than what I'm talking about now. You know, before I would take any price. It was priceless if I was not getting paid at all. Because I'm going to go to answer your question, but this is also just a thing, period. If you're a hustler, if you're getting paid $0, if you work that whole room when you're at that gig, you're going to get paid regardless for another gig, you know? That's how I got to where I got to. But now, I do have a price, and my price is my price was not yesterday's price, you know? It's gone up a long way. And there's people that are customers or clients of mine that have been booking me for years, and I'm like, this is my price now. Well, they're like, Molly, that wasn't your price a year ago. Of course it wasn't, because I've grown. But if they book me constantly, like if they're booking me like 3 times a week, and you know, I'm technically getting paid less, but I'm actually making more, because let's just say I'm getting paid, let's say.
So you'll decide, basically. I'll decide depending on like,
Molly, I just did, you know, I know you did True TV, and I just did that like a couple of months ago. I was on, I think it's called like Financial Junk, something like that. But like, you see how you're talking about, like you've gotten it to the point where now they're booking you consistent. Yeah. People are trying to figure out how they can get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like now you have no one can undercut you because you've already established yourself. But
they can still try to undercut me, because of course everybody wants to get the homie price.
Right. You know, what I'm saying is, how about the people who are just trying to figure it out? You know what I mean? Like, how do you figure it out to be consistent?
This is the thing. I don't know if there's an exact way to say that. You know, I mean, everybody's story is different. Everybody's situation is different.
There's no formula for it. It's just consistency and hustle.
It's not like a 9 to 5 that you get your consistent situation. This is like especially Atlanta alone. I know I'm speaking Atlanta a lot because that's where I have most of my gigs. Atlanta, I'll get called the day of, they're on set already and they need 2 girls to come into set, and they're already filming. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I'll wake up every day, have a clear schedule, and by the end of the day, I already have 6 gigs. You know, like that's how Atlanta is. So it's like, it's different. Like I just did a T-Pain gig, music video like a month ago, right? It just came out. Literally, they called me the day of, And this random producer who I've only met one time a year ago called me and was like, Molly, they need girls in Atlanta. I know you're in Atlanta. Then he gave me like Futuristic's number and he called me and he's like, well, this is the price that I got. I'm like, can you do this? He's like, yeah. So we like compromised the price, right? It wasn't exactly what I wanted to get paid, but that opportunity was worth it because I just worked with T-Pain. And then when I posted I worked with T-Pain, I got like 3 more gigs because they just saw what I just did for T-Pain, you know? And that happened the day of, literally they were already on set. They're like, we need girls on set right now. So I had to make a post to see who was already hair and makeup ready and who can get to set right away, you know? So
do you feel like people need to relocate? Because like places like Atlanta that you're talking about in the South in general right now, and it's gonna be like this probably for a lot of years, you know what I mean?
I feel like it depends first off of what type of model you are. I feel like if you're more of a runway model, you should stay in New York or you should do Miami because they have swim week out there in Miami, or LA. Now we do have a lot of runway shows here in Atlanta, but they're never paid. First off, I've only heard of like one situation getting paid for a runway out here. Out here is about networking though, but you get a lot more gigs from it, you know? And out here, there's not really a standard for runway model. Out here, you could be my height. I'm 5'1", and I can be a runway model out here.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
But in New York, I know you definitely can't be like that.
Yeah.
So it's different, you know, different cities have different standards, you know what I'm saying? Different things. I mean, it's different. Like I would never tell a runway model that is 5'1" in Atlanta to go to New York and do runway. I would never tell her that ever, you know?
Yeah.
So it's different. And you also gotta know though, like your body type, you know? If in Atlanta, if you are thick or slim thick, you probably are gonna get booked a little bit more than a skinny girl. Unless you are a gorgeous girl and you have great pictures and you know how to work the hell out of that camera, then yes, you will get booked a lot because and you got good energy too. Energy goes a long way, like a long way. I know girls that might not be the prettiest girl in the world, but she gets her makeup done and she gets her hair done and she knows how to work that camera and she's great to experience to work with. She gets booked more than the prettiest girl because she's bougie and she doesn't want to learn and she doesn't want to listen and she complains on set, you know, like energy goes a long way. But you also got to know, like, not everybody can be a model. Or even if you were booked one time for a gig that got paid $500, that's not going to be something that's going to happen every day. Like here in Atlanta, the average price getting paid, sadly, is $100 per gig. I mean, I know with me, it's normally 100 to 300 you get paid per gig. And unless you got more followers on Instagram, then you'll get paid more. Or if you're the drop dead gorgeous girl, or if they have that LA budget, because I always say LA budget because LA budgets, no, that minimum price is normally $400 minimum.
$400 to $500
as an extra, you know.
But
I've gotten girls paid thousands of dollars in LA, but you also got to realize in New York and LA and Miami, the what's it called? The price of living is a lot higher too. Atlanta is super cheap. Like out here, you can get rent for $600. You can get rent for $2,000 as the highest rent is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? In LA, $2,000 is the minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like the prices are a little bit lower in Atlanta, but you also are gonna have so much more opportunity in Atlanta.
Right. I was about to say. That's what I'm saying. Like that deal flow or the workflow is more. So I mean, I think people would take the 100, 150 if you can show them the different gigs every day and they can go to it. You know what I'm saying? I think that, in my opinion, it's like, you know, the people I'm around, they're wolves. So even if you're giving them $75 or $100,
you can flip it.
You know what I mean?
And also, like, that's why a lot of people in the industry too always have like a bartending job or a waitress job too at night, because most of the gigs are like during the day, or at least whatever. And also a lot of the jobs here understand that you're in the entertainment world. So if you need to switch shifts with somebody, they're very understanding out here, you know? But I never tell anybody ever to just model or act. You have to have a side hustle of some sort, you know? because if not, you're not gonna be where you want to be.
Right.
That's
true.
true.
So Molly World, you know, I know you're trying to transition to more corporate. I mean, that's a big account that you said you scored. Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder. Am I saying it right? Louise,
You said what?
Estee
Oh, the
Lauder.
Estee Lauder.
Hair care.
Huh?
Makeup, yeah, Estee Lauder.
It's Estee Lauder, right?
Estee Lauder.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the account that you have, or you don't have it? You have it, right?
He was saying that you landed that account for Estee Lauder.
Oh, no. For ORS Hair Care, the hair campaign.
The hair.
What's the name of it?
ORS Hair Care.
Okay, but that's a corporate account, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know that you're transitioning to more like corporate, like, you know, why do you feel like you're trying to get that bag? Like, what do you feel that's different? That, you know, obviously, you know, you're 26, still young, you still have, you know, that's something, you know, 35, 30, you know what I mean? But I mean, I guess, you know, you're very mature.
Yeah, but to be honest, I feel like, see, I'm a big hustler, right? And hustler in a positive way, not negative.
Yeah, of course.
When I say hustler, that just means, I know how to get to the money. I know how to turn $0 into more money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no FBI is listening. No FBI is listening.
No, but like, you don't think of it like.
You want to clarify, you know what I mean? No FBI, no agency. Don't worry about it. We're clean, legit podcast.
That's what I mean by that. But I feel like, first off, music videos are cool and all, but at least in Atlanta, their budget's not all the way where it needs to be. And also, there's a lot of bullshit involved on sets. I mean, some sets aren't even safe. You know, there's been shootouts on sets.
Oh, wow.
People have also scammed you out of money. They might give you a fake check. Atlanta's the fraud city. Like, they will scam you out of a lot of. Oh yeah, we're known for scamming. So, well, not me, but like, they are definitely. Like, at 18, I got scammed like twice, you know, out of stuff. I learned my lesson.
Molly, you're in on it. You're in on it too. Stop it.
No, I'm not. I definitely not.
You can't pull us. You can't pull us with that Ivy girl.
No, I definitely do know scammers, but I definitely do not scam. But you can walk around Atlanta, there's scammers everywhere. But like, you really gotta be careful with that shit. But like, also, there's just so much bullshit on set as far as, oh, they might have told you that they're gonna give you $2,000, but they don't actually give you all that, or you have to wait, you know, for it. So it's just a lot of bullshit that's involved. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's also a lot of positives too, but I do know with working with corporate companies and working with companies that I've worked with that are corporate, I'm gonna make my money. I'm gonna make more money, to be honest, than I'm ever gonna make in a music video. And it's gonna be like a bigger situation, period. You know, and it's gonna be consistent. If they like you, they'll pay you constant. Like, for ORS Hair Care, I've worked with them for 2 years, and I'm still their casting director. So yeah, they liked me, and that situation was talk about networking. Okay, that was a corporate gig, and I got that so random. It was a word of mouth situation, and that situation was just crazy. Like, I did not wake up that day thinking I was gonna do that.
Yeah, that's good, man.
So, and the same thing, to be honest, the other corporate situation that I just locked in with the vape company, that was word of mouth too. So a lot of times my bigger gigs aren't even stuff I've submitted for. It's been word of mouth, or they happen to see it online. I know I did something with Puma a couple years ago, and when we did that, we did a whole mock shoot with Puma. We had a model. She just bought everything Puma and did a really dope photo shoot, and they ended up seeing it, and she ended up being become their brand ambassador.
This is before Jay-Z became president over there, or what?
This was like 3-4 years ago, so I don't know.
I think, yeah, that's like right before he became president.
Yeah. So, you know, like, a lot of stuff, and don't be afraid to like market yourself online. Like, to be honest, that you don't know who's looking at your pages or looking at hashtags. Hashtags are very important. I know when I go to a new city, I'm always hashtagging that city, and then I say model. So like, when I go to Miami, I always do Miami model and hashtag that, and then I look through that to find new talent. I know I do that same thing for New York. I do like NYC model, or I'll do NY model. I'll look for that. Chicago, I'll do shy, #shy model, like I'll do that for wherever I go. So it's really important to do that because you never know who's looking,
Right.
Well, Molly, I mean,
that's a good thing. So the hashtags that you use as the casting director. So you're saying New York model, New York City model.
Yeah.
What other hashtags are there?
So if you do, I know like at least, or if I want people to find me, I'll do like for myself, I'll do like #casting director, casting call too. I'll do like New York casting call. I'll do a casting call period, and then I'll do specific cities. I'm looking for specific spots, but like stuff that's like industry or auditions, casting call, model, just put something in front of that, like the city name, and that's what I normally look for. Or I use myself. It comes in handy a lot.
Very good tips. I like it. For all of those out there listening who are wanting to brand themselves, don't forget the hashtags.
And then, branding, make your own brand. Like, to be honest, like I do Molly World casting hashtag, I do Molly World production hashtag for people to see stuff. I need to do it more often. I've been slacking for the last year doing that for myself.
I just use my name, honestly, because
or your name for sure. Sometimes I'm shocked who's using my hashtag. Like people will tag me and stuff just for me to see it, but that, like I said, that takes years to add up, this definitely didn't happen overnight.
That's dope. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, because we're about to wrap it up, because I know you got things you have to do. So you let me just find out. All right, so you started in high school, you were able to transition over time to eventually, do different people's videos. People started knowing your name out there. Atlanta's obviously a different market than the other bigger cities, where it's more of like homegrown and what you can do and bring to people. From there, you've been able to excel. Now you're kind of transitioning more into corporate, more directing, more production crew type stuff. Are you easing away from the video, or are you going to kind of still do it while you're trying to expand your portfolio?
I'm definitely going to still do it just because I get caught, like literally I get called every day for it. So I'm not going to turn down that bread or the opportunities, because I have so many models now that are following me that want that. So I'm not going to turn it away because I want them to get paid, and get myself paid as well. But I mean, sometimes I'll take gigs just because I know people need the money, especially like during Corona. Like I was still casting. I didn't go outside myself for like 3 months, but I was still casting because people needed money and they still wanted to go out. So
how many staff you have? You have a staff, I think, right?
So I have a couple of business partners, but I definitely do everything myself. Now I did just hire 3 assistants. So I just hired 3 assistants in the last 6 months. So that's definitely helped me a lot. That's made my life a lot easier. I can actually sleep now.
Man. Gosh golly, Molly. Gosh golly.
Yeah.
That's great though, man. I mean, you definitely one of those trailblazers. I was telling Luis last week, I said, what this girl's been able to do over time and kind of put her name out there, especially in the casting world. People have done it and they folded like the next week. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just such a hard job to do, like you said, there's like a lot of scams, people who are trying to undercut you, people don't want to pay you girls, then the attitudes of the girls, they feel like
oh my god, whoever
they want to be, you know what I mean? So like, the attitudes of, like you said, the bougie is bad and bougie, and they just definitely bougie, not even bad. They're not even like really like that, you know what I mean? So you deal with a lot of people's personalities, but you've been able to succumb so fast, man. 26, you know what I mean? So fast that you've been able to come and kind of stand on your own 2 feet. And like I said, I deal with people who are just looking for consistency, just because the competition is so out there. They just want work. They just want work. They just want to know where the work is, and they'll take little crumbs of quantity. You know what I mean? Because eventually you add up the quality. Because like you said, it's about your personality and what you're able to bring. You know,
personality and relationships. Relationships go so far. I cannot preach that enough. Like to be honest, I've definitely slacked and fucked up a couple times with my business, but because of my energy and my relationships, I've been able to work with those people again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's all about energy and personality. I cannot stress that.
I feel like, Molly, I feel like in the beginning, like you were able to, like now you can slack off, but you've already been able to put in that work for people to establish, be like, yo, she's thorough. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing it in the beginning, just coming out the door, people be like, yo, what the hell is this? Like acting, you know what I mean? Acting crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? But you've been able to establish, so people are like, you know what? She's good. We will work with her again. You know, you've been able to, now you have people on the payroll. So, I mean, you're doing something right where you've been able to establish now, as you being an executive or the head of the company, you can pay other people, you know what I mean? And you have been able to expand with other business partners. And I just see it growing, man. You know what I mean? This is not the end of Molly Flynn or Molly World. I feel like it's just going to keep expanding because like me and you spoke, you said that you're just going to get into more corporate stuff, and it just looks like it's going to skyrocket.
So it's going to go up for sure. It's just, to be honest, this year alone, I've had a lot of like inner struggles and stuff, but I really feel like by the end of this year, I'm going to like organize my business fully. You know, like Atlanta is just on the go. So I've just been like more on, okay, get this money, get people paid, and not organize my stuff as much. Now I'm more focused on organizing my business, you know?
Right.
Luckily, I've been so booked that I didn't have to organize it. So I was just gonna go. But now I'm like, I got so many people messaging me every day. I have to organize it.
Are you gonna? I know like Atlanta's your home base, but are you gonna focus on more other cities? Like I know you've been doing kind of.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more. I need more clients. Okay, like I got the talent in all these cities. I just need more clients. I need more customers. And to be honest, I just need to travel because I know when I'm physically in those places, then I get called more. People just think for some reason if I'm not physically out there, I can't cast, but that's not true. I've casted in Canada when I'm not even there. You know, I've casted in Miami, New York when I'm not physically there.
So what, like if someone was trying to, like if a company was trying to look, like what, like when you say you have to be physically there, like when you're going to like say on vacation, but you're like, all right, I'm also going to be doing work on vacation. What are you?
I'm known for that.
How are you casting while you're at that city? Going?
So like in Miami, for example, like whenever I go to Miami, even if it's for vacation, I'm a workaholic. So if I'm going on vacation, I'm always gonna do a casting call just so I can see what talent we possibly have out there. And so I can meet people, because at this point, people also just want to meet me and just say, hey, like say they've met me. So I'm like, but I want to physically be out there so people know that I have talent out there. You know what I'm saying? If I promote it on my page, then they see I do have talent out in those places. So, but I definitely have talent all over the country. Like Vegas, I got called for Young Blue DM'd me the other day and was like, hey, I'm in Vegas. I need girls right now.
Yeah. I was telling Elle, I said, yo, she doing Blue who's a big artist right now. No more Young Blue. There's no more Young Blue. It's Blue now. Blue the
it's just Blue now. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just telling Elle, I said, yo, she's doing something in Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? She moves around, like, you know what I mean? And Blue right now, he's like the biggest artist right now. Like he's on the radio. I was driving earlier today, just his song back to back. You know what I mean?
It was super random too. So, but I feel like when I'm physically in these places, more girls are more like watching my page and submitting, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then also the clients are more like watching my page, be like, okay, she's here. Like I've just noticed that over the years, because I used to be in Vegas a lot. I used to be in Miami so much more than I have been in the last couple months. But when I'm physically there, I get more submissions. My nail's not done. Okay. I get more submissions in those cities, and I get more clients in those cities. So I feel like I just need to do like a quick, like just go out there, and then I get more of that. Yeah. Or I just need to reach out on Instagram and reach out to those people, be like, hey, I do have talent out here. These are my talent, you know? But it's just like you know, if you're in even another city, your home state misses you, and they would be like, when are you coming back? And they book you more too. So traveling period is very important because people will book you in those cities, and also where you just came from will be like, oh my gosh, when can we book you again? You know? So
that's dope.
Well, that being said,
Louise,
Molly, tell us all where we can find your pages on Instagram, on if you have a YouTube page, where do we find you?
So my Instagram, I got 2 Instagrams, but my main page is Molly World Casting. That's where you're going to see all my casting calls. If you want to follow just me look in my face more, then follow me. So official Molly World _ and then also I do have TikTok, it's Molly World Casting, and Facebook. I think if you put in Molly World Casting, it should come up. I have a couple pages on Facebook as well. So yeah.
No. Any last question, I'll end it off. What do you want to tell people out there who are struggling, who's trying to figure it out? You know, because that's what this podcast is about, like people who are trying to come up. Like, what would you want to tell anybody who's trying to strive, kind of be in your position, or, you know, want to get in video? What would you tell them?
I would say, first things first, make sure you do have an online presence. Even if you have only 20 followers, make sure your page looks good so then you can get more followers. Also, don't give up at all. Like, stay positive, please, because it takes years. It's not going to happen overnight, you know? You might be that one lucky person, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. So make sure you just don't give up. Follow your dream. And then also, if you are a model or actor, please get professional pictures. I cannot stress that enough.
That's a fact. Or maybe you I mean, that's what you now have a production crew. They probably come to you to do pictures.
Yes.
Well?
I work with over 50 photographers. I work with over like 500 different directors all across the country. So I can definitely find you somebody that, you know, but you're going to have to invest. It's not going to be for free. And if it is for free, it probably isn't quality. So, you know.
Molly World, man, thank you for coming on. Soul clap one time. Thank you for coming on the cast. Molly World Casting. You can find her online on all the social media platforms. Molly World Casting, so official Molly World. Man, thank you. Thank you for coming on the cast.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
You know,
nice meeting you.
We will be following you.
And you have a model in New York if you ever need it last minute.
Yeah. Louisa, Louisa, everybody know her, and then I'm Sammy B, and you're Molly Flynn. You know what I mean? Molly World. And thank you for coming on. And that's a wrap, man. You know what I mean? We got things to do, you know what I mean? Because if you're not making money, then you're just not making it. All right. So it is what it is.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And an opinion.
All right,
it's
later.
Just how it was yours.
Later.